So this video is going to explain about the one-dimensional analysis, the second unit of finite element method. So we are going to see about the general formation of finite element equation in one-dimensional analysis. Consider a bar element. So this is a bar element which will deform in x direction. If you consider the nodes u1 and u2, 1 and 2 here, the displacement at node 1 is u1, the displacement at node 2 is u2. The total length of the element is L. So we are going to derive the stiffness matrix relationship. So here the relationship between the constitutive relationship constants there, D, the stress strain relationship, B, the strain displacement relationship. So we are going to derive the relation between the stiffness matrix and these constants. So for that, first consider the nodal load vector. The nodal load vector, capital W matrix is W1, keep it as W1, W2, W3 and so on. Similarly, the nodal displacement vector, small w is small w1, small w2, small w3, and it goes on continuing depending upon the nodal points. So now the strain energy P, the expression for strain energy P can be written as the area of loading diagram, that is half BH, half into nodal load value and the nodal displacement value. So it goes on continuous, half W3, small w3 up to half Wn and small wn. So if you write in the matrix format, so it is half, the nodal load vector is W1, W2 and W3 up to Wn, multiply with the nodal displacement components, W3 up to Wn. So if you multiply the first value, capital W1 with a small w1, you will get the first term. So half the horizontal arrangement of nodal load vector and the vertical column arrangement of nodal displacement vectors. So initially we have defined the nodal load vector into a column arrangement. In this formula it is arranged horizontally. So the transpose of the W matrix. So this is the transpose form of the W matrix multiplied with the displacement, nodal displacement vector. So I am specifying W star as the nodal displacement vector. So we know that from the basic equation of finite element, W is equal to K into U. W equal to K into U. Here that is F is equal to K into U. Here we can write capital W is equal to K into, here we represent U as W star. U as W star. So I am going to substitute here half into K transpose W star transpose and W star, because this load vector is with transpose component, so we have to put transpose for K as well as W star. I am keeping K transpose as K for simplification and rearranging this equation W star K and W star transpose. The strain energy P is half into W star K W star transpose. So this is, you keep this is equation number 1. Next we are coming to the relationship of stress strain. So we are making the strain E equal to the strain displacement coefficient B. I am multiplying with the displacement. So this B matrix will give the relationship between strain and displacement. U is the displacement, E is the strain. So this B matrix connects the strain value and displacement value. Hence it is called as strain displacement matrix. Similarly, if you put transpose for this matrix, it is B transpose. B is a scalar quantity, U is a vector quantity. The strain is also differs from point to point, so it is also a vector quantity. Similarly, you can make the relation between stress and strain. Sigma is equal to Young's modulus into strain. In matrix form, there is a matrix component D which relates the stress and strain. So this matrix is called as stress strain relationship matrix D. So from this we are going to use the strain energy in terms of stress and strain, half into sigma into epsilon into V. So this is the strain, sigma is the stress, V is the volume, half sigma epsilon V is the strain energy formula. So in the same format we are going to make to the whole area, so that integration half into the strain E transpose with the multiplying with the sigma multiplying with the volume. Sigma is the stress, E is the strain. Why we are putting transpose? Basically the sigma value will be represented in a column matrix. Similarly, the strain E will be represented in column matrix. But if you are multiplying the sigma and the strain value, either any one of the matrix should be in a horizontal alignment. So the sigma is kept as the vertical component, E is multiplied as the horizontal component. So originally the form is E, now it is transpose, and here the sigma 1 sigma 2 as it is, so it is sigma. So we put E transpose sigma dV. So now we are going to apply this sigma and strain transpose relation, half into, here it is B transpose U star transpose, sigma is D into E, D is a scalar quantity, B is a scalar quantity, U and E is the vector quantity, into dV. I am going to separate the B and D component. So it is half into U star transpose integration of B transpose DE. B transpose DE. We are going to separate these scalar quantities separately. So now I am going to replace U star with W star. Further, we can replace the component of E with this formula, that is B into U star. So it is half into U star transpose B transpose D. E is B into U star dV. So all the display relation matrix are coming together. So now B transpose dB is the scalar quantity. So by separating U star T, integration of B transpose dB into U star. So I am going to substitute U star as W star. I am going to substitute U star as W star and keeping B transpose dB as K. B transpose dB as K. So it is half into U star is W star transpose and B transpose dB is K. Again U star is equal to W star dV. So this is the expression. This is the expression previously we get from the W matrix, small w matrix. So it is equation 1. It is similar form of equation 1. So from this we can get the stiffness matrix value as B transpose dB. B transpose dB is stiffness matrix K. So if you are able to form the strain displacement relation or stress strain relation, we can easily find the stiffness matrix. So this is one of the points we have derived. So totally here strain is equal to B into U, stress is equal to D into E, and K is equal to B transpose dB. So these are the solutions we have arrived from this derivation. So with this, we are going to continue with the linear bar element example. So one dimensional linear bar element. We are going to derive the stiffness matrix for linear bar element. So in this unit, we are going to derive the stiffness matrix for various elements. First one, we are taking bar element. Next one, beam element, quadratic element, 3-noded element, 4-noded element. Lot of element types are there. So we are starting from the bar element. So the bar is represented like this with the nodal displacements of U1, U2 starting from left side to right side, and total length is L. So we are going to introduce a new function that relates the global displacement with nodal displacement. That is going to relate the global displacement with the individual nodal displacement. For that we are adding N1 and N2. If you consider only one node, so it is U is equal to N into U1. So this U is a global representation. This U1 is a local representation, local nodal value. This is, you can consider as a member displacement. This u1 is the nodal displacement, member displacement and nodal displacement. So if you connect the relationship between the global displacement with the local displacement or the member displacement with the nodal displacement, that function is called shape function. That function is called shape function. So this is a very important term in finite element. The shape function which relates the member displacement with the nodal displacement, or otherwise it can be called as it relates the global displacement to the local displacement. So how we can form the shape function? So if you take at node 1 there will be a shape function n1, at node 2 there will be a shape function n2. So if you consider the node 1, the n1 should be equal to 1, n2 equal to 0, where at node 1 if you form a function, the shape function n1 should be equal to 1 at node 1, n2 equal to 0. At node 2, n1 should be 0, n2 equal to 1. If you substitute the coordinates, if you substitute when x equal to 0, if you substitute when x equal to 0, the n1 value should be 1 at node 1. If you substitute x equal to L, the n2 value should be equal to 1 at node 2. So in this procedure we have to formulate the shape function. So for this, consider the n2 value. Our x distance starts from the left side. It varies from 0 to L here. So you are forming a function x by L at n2. If you substitute x equal to L, what the value? n2 equal to 1. n2 equal to 1. Similarly, I am taking n1 is equal to 1 minus x by L, because summation of n1 plus n2 equal to 1. This is a thumb rule. So n2 is equal to x by L. n2 equal to x by L. So n1 is equal to automatically 1 minus x by L. So I am considering n1 is equal to 1 by x by L. 1 minus. If you put x equal to 0 in this equation, definitely n1 equal to 1. If you put x equal to 0 at the second equation, that is x by L, that is 0. Similarly, in the first part, if you put x equal to L in the another equation, that is 1 minus x by L, if you put x equal to L, so L is cancelled, so 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So that is, the shape function should be valid only at that particular node. The shape function should be valid only at that particular node. If you consider node 2 and if you substitute the coordinates x equal to L, the n2 value should be equal to 1. At the same time, n1 should be equal to 0. If you substitute n1 equation x equal to 0, the n1 value should be equal to 1. At the same time, n2 should be equal to 0. So like that, we have to form the shape functions for each problem. So finally, we are coming with the shape function n1 equal to 1 minus x by L. Otherwise, we can write it as L minus x by L, cross multiplying with the L. n2 equal to x by L. n2 equal to x by L. Here x equal to 0, here x equal to L. It is applicable only for x equal to 0 and x equal to L. So this strain displacement relation B can be formed as dn1 by dx, dn2 by dx, dn1 by dx. So if you differentiate with respect to x, dn1 by dx and dn2 by dx. So it is minus 1 by L. That is dn1 by dx is 1 minus x by L dx. So if you differentiate my x, it is minus 1 by L. So minus 1 by L, and similarly if you differentiate this with respect to x, it is plus 1 by L. So B matrix is minus 1 by L plus 1 by L. For that, the transpose form of this equation, B transpose is equal to minus 1 by L plus 1 by L in the column wise arrangement. So now we have the relation for the stiffness matrix B transpose dB into dV. It is the integral over the volume. So substitute B transpose minus 1 by L, 1 by L, so D is nothing but the value of Young's modulus, that is the relation between the stress and the strain is D, which is nothing but the Young's modulus. B is again minus 1 by L, 1 by L. So I am expanding volume as A into dx, that is area into length is the volume. So in next step I am separating AE from 0 to L, minus 1 by L, 1 by L. Here minus 1 by L, 1 by L into dx. So if you matrix manipulation, you multiply with this component, the 2 component, again this with the 2 components. So for the first term we get 2 values, for the second term we get another 2 values. So it is AE by L, AE 0 to L, minus 1 by L into minus 1 by L is 1 by L square. Minus 1 by L plus 1 into 1 by L is equal to minus 1 by L square. So here 1 by L into minus 1 by L is minus 1 by L square. 1 by L into 1 by L is equal to plus 1 by L square dx. So in next step, the dx is integrated as x. Dx is integrated as x. So it remains as 1 by L square minus 1 by L square, 1 by L square, that is minus 1 by L square plus 1 by L square, into the dx is integrated to x from 0 to L. So you will get the L as the boundary value. So if you take 1 by L square outside from the matrix, multiply with this L. So if you take 1 by L square outside, it is 1. Here it is minus 1, minus 1, 1. If you cancel this, you get AE by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. So this is the stiffness matrix for a one-dimensional bar element. For a one-dimensional bar element. So the same stiffness matrix, we can use it for the truss element because it is considered as the axially loaded member. The truss element is also having the same stiffness matrix AE by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. So in this we have another formula for force vector. So I'm going to introduce the force vector formula. F is equal to rho AL by 2, 1, 1. So this is the mass 1 and mass 2. So rho AL is the mass towards the volume. So the force vector F can be represented as rho AL by 2, 1 and 1. So in this video we are introduced the stiffness matrix derivation for a one-dimensional bar element. Finally we have derived K equal to B transpose D into B integral over the volume. Next we derived the stiffness matrix for the one-dimensional bar element as AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. We are going to derive the many stiffness matrices for different element types.